I don't know what is wrong with these guys. Like, what is wrong with them? Like, not only did they write Gypsy Rose to begin with, but then they don't even give her a year before they're trying to mix their bloodlines. Like, give it a moment, my dude. Like, come on. They're literally like just pissing on a tree. That's what they're doing, and that's how they're treating her. And it's honestly just disgusting, and it's irresponsible. Well, we are back at it again with some more Gypsy Rose Blanchard Life After Lockup tea. As I'm filming this video right here, it is the season finale today on Tuesday, so definitely stay tuned for that reaction because I'm gonna be talking about whatever happens at the end. I've seen no spoilers, I have no idea, but we're going to be going over the 3 previous episodes. I'm gonna be showing you a little bit of clips, whatever I can get away with here on YouTube, and we're actually gonna be doing it a little bit differently. I'm gonna be reacting to them with you all. I have done some videos on Gypsy Rose before. This is not my first one. I always have things to say. As you know, I have been so excited to sit down and talk about these past episodes with you because this is when things have gotten really wild and crazy. There is a lot going on behind me. This is the craft area of my office, so it's a bit chaotic back there, but I moved a bed in here for my friend when she was visiting and I have been too lazy to remove it. So here we are today. Honestly, I don't know. Am I gonna remove it? We have a lot to talk about, so if you're excited, let me know in the comments, give it a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get into it because there is a lot to talk about. Now, before I get into it, I am not anti-Gypsy. I'm not pro-Gypsy. I'm not anti-Ken, pro-Ken, anti-Ryan, pro-Ryan. You get the point. I'm just giving my opinion on all of the chaos that is coming out because they have all been pretty messy and it has been entertaining to say the least. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
He texted me telling me some stuff about Ken, and you were involved. You were stepping inside the circle. I agreed with him.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like he's maybe trying to worm his way back in.
No, Ken was a big part of her life. He has the right to speak his opinion. He had told me, he says, my story needs to be heard.
I would hope Ken sincerely feels that he wants Gypsy to be happy. Stay quiet, stay away.
Ken was her first real relationship. Lord, I'm friends with all my exes.
If they got their closure, let's close the book on Ken and don't talk to him.
I'm not getting involved. I don't know
Do like
who did
I asked
that.
you, and don't ever allow the door to open up. I can't help you. If something happens with Gypsy and Ken, it's going to be your fault. She's real busy.
I mean, look.
Trying to find a time when we could just kind of, just me and her.
Well,
and,
you need
I'm not
to,
gonna show her,
tell her. You need to have a conversation with Gypsy.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but you're not letting me talk.
The more I watch this show, the more I like Rod. Sometimes I feel like he's the only one that makes any sense. That was so frustrating, that clip right there where she just kept interrupting him. She's like, well, you need to talk to Gypsy. And he's like, girl, well, you obviously can't be in the room because you keep freaking interrupting me. Yep. And he clocked it from the very beginning. He said he felt like Ken was trying to worm his way back in. He was. He said that he hoped that Ken would want her to be happy. He clearly didn't. You know, Gypsy Rose's stepmom has overstepped so many boundaries, and that is one thing I will 100% agree with Ryan on, and I understand his frustration with her 100%, where he's like, girl, I am married to her. You need to back off. I do not understand why Christy, Gypsy's stepmom, is so like, you need to get closure with Ken. Girl, I'm sorry. You need to step back a little bit and let her figure her life out and stop trying to involve yourself. Like, it's giving like you have a crush on Ken and you want to live through Gypsy here. Like, why are you a part of this equation? In the previous episode, we talked about how she had pictures of Ken underneath her bed. She says in this clip that she's friends with all of her exes. Girl, that ain't for everybody. You know, maybe it works for you. I don't know, but that's not something that's going to work for everybody. I just do not understand, if she doesn't like have a crush on Ken or something, what her involvement is, why she cares so much. She didn't care to help Gypsy when she was under her mother's roof being abused by her and trapped. Okay, so why are you trying to act like some sort of savior here and like you're connecting these two people together when she's married, by the way? And also to Rod, I would be really concerned if she's friends with her exes and married to you, because she clearly thinks that it's okay to talk to people while you're married to get closure, when that book should have been shut the second you married someone. And I do realize that Gypsy married Ryan, a little bit preemptively. I don't think she thought the whole thing through. I don't think that it was a good idea for her to get married, just like how I don't think it's a good idea for her to be having a baby with Ken. But also, with all of that being said, I feel like it's concerning to me that Christy is clearly showing she thinks it's okay to have conversations with exes while you're married to get closure with them. There's other clips where she's talked about how she felt like that door wasn't closed and stuff, and it's just like, you are being so disrespectful, and for what? For what? What is the point? What are you trying to gain here? Because somebody who is this involved in somebody's life, they're gaining something out of it. And something about this, I'm like, girl, like, what is going on with your relationship with Ken? Because it's weird, all right? It's not normal. I could go on about that for a year, but I'll stop there. I think you guys get the point.
Who you texting?
I'm texting Mia.
I saw that address. What does she want? Scroll back down.
Oh, that's ours. That's for the free stuff.
That's why I was like, who you texting?
He's so annoying. Like, stop.
Any desire from you to reach out to what's his face? To Ken?
No.
No desire whatsoever. Situation's done, right?
Situation's done.
That's one reason I love. What kind of stuff you trying to get there?
I'm just texting my sister.
Ryan. Ryan, honey, I don't know if you watch videos that are about you and Gypsy or not. If you do, and you happen to come across this, in your next relationship, this behavior, and this is coming from a place of care here, just in case you truly don't know what you're doing wrong. You cannot be hovering over your partner and reading their text messages. Not only that, why are you doing this while you're driving? I counted the seconds that he was staring at her phone instead of the road, and in any millisecond of a moment, that it makes sense what I just said. I'm so intelligent. But in any moment there, he could have caused an accident by trying to read what she is doing. I will say this, I understand why he was acting jealous, because there was a thing with Ken. Like, she kept talking about him. She wasn't letting him go. When you are in a relationship with somebody like Gypsy who keeps talking about their ex or talking about another person, it is very normal for the person that you're with to get a little bit, I wouldn't even say jealous, but a little bit paranoid, because you're planting it in their mind to be paranoid. You're in a committed relationship with them, but you're not letting your ex-partner go. So I understand, that he may have been a bit paranoid. And the thing is that we'll never know if he was paranoid like this simply because he had concerns that she was cheating or talking to Ken, or if this is how he actually is just in general, because it ends up where she does end up getting back with Ken. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of slack there, okay? But also, with that being said, I do feel like there is a bit of a behavior issue with his need to control situations. And I do also agree with Gypsy that he seemed a bit controlling. We saw it whenever they were late for, their flight, and he was like nitpicking at the driver and being really disrespectful and rude. And I also want to say this too, I do kind of feel like it is his personality, because when she was on the phone with her PO officer when they were driving to meet up with her family for the first time, he's interrupting every single thing that she's saying. So I feel like, this is a problem with him. Yes, it did end up that he was cheated on or left for, I don't know that he was cheated on, but it ended up where he was left for this other man. But he was exhibiting these behaviors before. I don't think he's dangerous. I think he can unlearn those behaviors. That's why I'm like, honey, if you're watching this video, you can't act like this, okay? You cannot act this way. And if you are in a relationship with somebody where you truly feel that they may be cheating on you, you all need to sit down and have a mature conversation, maybe in front of a therapist or whatever, but this isn't the way to do it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't sympathize, because it did end up where there was stuff going on. So I understand, but also it's like, I can see where she's coming from, where she feels controlled, and I can see where he's coming from, that he was paranoid, she was cheating, and it was just never going to work. It was just never going to work, and the two of them could have went about these situations completely differently. It's a bit triggering watching him hover over her text messages and stuff. And watch the road, my dude. Like, you're gonna end up in a car accident if you don't watch the road, and none of us want that for you.
Things have been a little bit weird between Ryan and Christy lately.
Why? Because of Ken?
Yes. So
I knew that was gonna happen. I don't know why she did that.
it was kind of like out of left field. Yeah, I talked to Ken the other day for like 2 hours.
That is so inappropriate and weird. Like, Christy, what the hell are you doing? Talking to this man, the ex of your stepdaughter, on the phone for 2 hours. What are you doing? That is so inappropriate and weird. And why are they on this friendship level where they're talking like that? Her involvement is so bizarre to me, and it's fishy.
She's like, the reason why he left you is because he felt like he was doing the right thing by you. He made the ultimate sacrifice by, like, he loved you so much.
Dude, that is just so uncomfortable to me. Like, why are you going to Gypsy when she just got out of prison? She needs to be focusing on herself. Like, this woman placed in her lap the issues that she had with an ex while she's trying to navigate a new marriage and being known by millions of people. Like, she caused an extra problem in her life. Like, she needs to figure herself out without bouncing from one person to the next, and nobody's allowing her the space to do that. Like, she was already controlled by her mom, but everybody around her is still controlling her life. I don't even think she can see it in that way, but it's like, this woman needed to seriously step aside and back off. Like, she overstepped so many boundaries.
Stirred up a bunch of feelings. I had to tell Ryan about it. Christy talked to Ken, and not only does he regret leaving me, but he also is single too.
This whole thing, I do feel bad for Ryan. You know, he got bamboozled. Bam, flip-flapping boozled. This man was screwed over. I do think he should have paid attention to the red flags before, but I think he was kind of like in la la land in his mind and thought everything would end up fine. I think that he was manipulated by Gypsy. And I think he still is, because some of the stuff I've heard him in his lives, which my next video, we're going to be watching some of their TikTok lives. So definitely subscribe if you're not, so that you don't miss that, because they're cringy. Like, I'm doing y'all a service here collecting these lives so that you don't have to dig for them yourself. So subscribe so you don't miss that. But you don't pay attention to the red flags sometimes. The literal red flag that is laid before you is what ends up happening. And that's kind of how this situation turned out to be, where everything he was concerned or worried about was going to happen, happened. And I mean, like, you already see this problem here. She's getting a manicure with her sister, and she's talking about how Ken is single. Girl, you're not single. Why are you talking about the fact that he's single too? You're not single. If he was in a relationship, it wouldn't matter. Like, why do you want him to be single if you're married? I mean, we know why, because we know how it ended up.
And Rod called me and is like, I told Christy if she ever brought him up again, she'd be in trouble. You know, like, if Gypsy wants to reach out, you let Gypsy reach out. Said, you're not going to be the reason that door stays open.
But I don't understand why he got dad involved. You're a grown man.
I completely disagree with her sister in that. Like, you're a grown man. Why are you getting dad involved? You need to be asking the question, Christy's a grown woman. Why is she getting Gypsy's ex involved? Okay, because that's a grown man too, and Christy involved him. She talked to him on the phone for 2 hours. Gypsy's husband has a right to go to his father-in-law and be like, this is what happened. And he probably wanted to let him know what happened in the first place, because maybe Rod wasn't even aware that she was talking to him to begin with.
Something happened though.
What?
No, I'm not pregnant. It only happened 2 nights ago.
Gypsy, you cannot have a kid right now. He did it again last month? Gypsy.
It may have been one time that it was an accident.
I want you to get all the things that you want first.
Okay, so this is where she's talking about how Ryan, you know what I mean? He acts like it's an accident, but this has happened multiple times. I mean, she said what went on with Ken was an accident too, which, you know, she said she talked to her OBGYN and she told her she wasn't ovulating correctly. And if that's really what happened, I could understand why maybe she would think that she wouldn't get pregnant. But, you know, at this time with Ryan, like, she didn't know that information. You know, I feel like she was being very, very, very messy and kind of like acting like a teenager here. And honestly, some teenagers are even more safe than this. I feel like Gypsy was trying to get pregnant from the time she got out of prison. And it is so sloppy and dangerous and unsafe for that child. And she is in for a rude awakening when she has that baby here, because she's not going to have the freedom that she's been wanting. Like, This is something I'll talk about my next video because we're going to go over a lot of the pregnancy stuff, but I just want to say this here as well, and I will probably repeat it. She was already in a situation where she felt trapped with her mom, and then she goes into prison for 8 years where she's confined behind, you know, the prison walls and can't do whatever she wants. Now she's under probation where she can't always do whatever she wants. She felt like she was trapped inside of the house with Ryan and can't do whatever she wants. And she's gone and bought these baby clothes and I just watched a live where she like bought like 4 or 5 different crib sheets. And yes, everyone has the right to be excited and stuff like that, and I want that for them for sure, but like I just feel like Gypsy's in for this really rude awakening, because if she felt controlled and felt confined and felt like she couldn't, you know, do whatever she wanted to do before, she is really about to feel that way, because having a baby is no joke. That is a lot of work, and you should not do what she did. She did it so sloppy, and I'm not saying it can't turn out good for her, and I hope that it does, but I just feel like, you know, if you want to live your life and feel free, you should probably wait on having a baby.
Yeah, y'all been having fun?
Yeah. Well, I told Mia about, you know, a few nights ago's event.
Oh my God, baby.
Baby.
Business.
A morning after pill type of thing. You don't got nothing else to say?
You just cracked me up. It's been a couple days. Like, it ain't gonna help you now.
Well, it's 72 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It hasn't been that long. He said, you had to do that on camera, ? I will pull out from now on, no worries.
Dude, you should have been doing that anyway. This is what I said in a video. You guys may remember. I said, any man who's going to, you know, perform the actions that could potentially get Gypsy pregnant when she's only been out of prison, what, 7, 8 months? You are dumber than a box of rocks, honey. Like, what are you doing? Don't do that. Like, she needs to find herself, and I don't know what is wrong with these guys. Like, what is wrong with them? Like, not only did they write Gypsy Rose to begin with, but then they don't even give her a year before they're trying to mix their bloodlines. Like, give it a moment, my dude. Like, come on. They're literally like just pissing on a tree. That's what they're doing, and that's how they're treating her. And it's honestly just disgusting, and it's irresponsible. So now we're gonna watch this clip where Gypsy filmed Ryan after this happened. This is later that night after the cameras were gone, and Ryan apparently was really upset, and I understand why he was. And Gypsy's trying to make it sound as though he's upset because she told her sister. And he says in this that that's not why he's upset. He's not upset that she talked to her sister about what happened between the two of them. He's upset that she put it on camera. I said this in one of my previous videos that I was noticing that she was trying to make him look bad on camera on numerous occasions. And I already feel like that's like a boundary that has been crossed in this show, where she was just airing out things about him when he wasn't around, trying to make him look bad. And she was doing it here too, where it's like, you could have told your sister this when the cameras weren't on, but you purposefully did it when the cameras were on. And I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? I mean, it is great for TV, and I'm eating it up, nom, 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 but also at the same time, what are you doing?
This is Ryan flipping out because I told my sister about
No, you
our
told the
difficulties.
world about it. Not your sister, the world. Not just your sister that sees like that.
Well, I didn't think about that it was, you know,
you
you're a
gotta think about
teacher
that.
and things like that. I didn't think about it in that context.
She's saying that she didn't think about how it was going to be filmed and the whole world was going to see it. But you're also now filming this, and you gave it to the production company to air it on television. She knew what she was doing. Like, this girl cannot stop lying. She can't stop lying. If she's not a lion, she's a bear, and she ain't no bear.
There's certain things that need to stay between us, baby.
Agreed.
Certain things need to stay between us.
You are
Agreed.
freaking out. And then you're pushing up because
I'm not switching up because I'm on camera. I'm mad at you. Like, I don't know why you gotta film this.
this is real life.
And you're the one that just said I'm tired of now you're filming an argument between us.
Because how I thought you would react is different than what you're reacting.
No, I am mad. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated.
What I'm feeling right now is the same way that my mom made me feel whenever I would talk to people. Don't talk to your dad. Don't tell him this. If I tell my dad too much, should act like you're acting.
No,
I understand that she's got traumas and she was triggered. This is why I said that I feel like she needed to continue down the path of therapy and like improving herself and learning about herself before she, you know, makes big lifelong commitments like marriage and children and things like that. You know what I mean? This is why you got to work on some stuff. And she says in that, like, I'm filming this because this is real life stuff. And I'm like, okay, but I've seen clips of you on TikTok talking about how you've been really moody and you've been starting a lot of fights with Ken and stuff like that because you're extremely moody from the pregnancy hormone. If he filmed you and put it online, would you think that it was okay because it was real life shit? You cannot treat another person like that. If you're going to film him, let people film you, because I'm sure you're not perfect behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair, and it's a double standard.
When I am feeling powerless, my reaction is to take back control. If there comes a time that I see that I am being controlled, I'm leaving.
And she does. This clip, look at him rolling around. I'm not joking. I have watched this clip over and over and over again because they're just like, this is one of the few happy moments we see on the show between Gypsy and Ryan. And it's just this random clip that they include amidst all the chaos and the arguing that's happening of them just like a roll.
It's like, I love them, but then you say all these like snarky remarks like, yeah, Christy just loves the attention. Like you said that literally when we were in the car waiting to come in here.
I feel like Gypsy is one of those people where do not tell her your darkest secrets. Don't tell her anything about you, because when she gets mad about you or gets mad at you, if there's a camera right there, she's going to tell them everything you just said. Season 2, she's probably going to be doing the same thing to Ken. Just watch.
Woke Ryan up. I said, I need to tell you something. I miss Ken.
He must have woke up quick.
He did, and he was like, you need to let him go. You are married. And I'm like, I know I am. That we both need to come to terms with the fact that I have 2 men in my heart the day before Valentine's Day.
Look at Christy's face here. She's freaking smiling. Oh my God, when the veil gets lifted and you see somebody's true colors, she's like so happy that Gypsy told him that she had Ken in her heart still on like the day before Valentine's Day. She's like, dude, this woman stirred this whole pot up and this whole mess up, and it is so obvious, and she's not getting away with it on my channel. I'm calling it out like I see it. Guys, that face. I feel bad for Ryan here. She sabotaged their marriage. Shame on her. That's devious.
I asked Ken, if you don't want me to get married, then you need to tell me now. He didn't say wait for me. If he would have said wait for me,
He would have.
the what could have been with Ken weighs on my heart.
What's done is done, and you can't do anything about it. But like, why? Do not get married to somebody if you still love somebody else. That is such an unintelligent move. Like, don't do that. Like, because you're bringing another person's feelings into your chaos. And it's not right to mess with people like that. And karma's a bitch. Okay, in the words of JoJo Siwa. I've also seen these clips where like Ken kind of acts to Gypsy the way that Gypsy acted to Ryan, where like now Gypsy's the one who's head over heels like Ryan was, and sometimes Ken seems just not that interested. Dude, I have a lot to say in these lives and TikToks that I've seen, like where there's been like explosive anger moments from Ken and stuff that you may not have heard about. So I cannot wait to film that video. There's just so much, like everybody's just so messy. They're just messy.
Work, but I want to get my hair done again.
Oh, baby, that's real blonde.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a nose job, you're getting your teeth done, and your hair is gonna change. You're not even gonna be my wife anymore.
I'm
Like,
not
who are
gonna
you?
be your wife.
Who
I'm
are
just
you
gonna
be?
look super hot.
I just hope it doesn't change your looks up too much. Is it gonna change how she perceives everything? Somebody could see themselves in a different light and be like, well, I'm better now, I could do this.
Hey, Ryan, I know you're probably listening. No. You need to be secure enough in yourself, and you need to work on your self-esteem, because you cannot, want the woman that you're in a relationship with to not do things that make her feel pretty and feel comfortable and feel attractive so that you feel like she's still gonna like you. I mean, at least he's being honest about it, but that's not good enough. Like, you cannot do that. Like, if the person that you're in a relationship with wants to make their body better or their hair better or, you know, change something so that they feel good about themselves, you should support them in that, not make them feel like, try make them feel bad about it. And like, that just tells me that he's like, she looks a mess right now, but I want her to stay like that so that she wants to stay with me. Like, dude, she's just talking about fixing an insecurity with her nose and dyeing her hair blonde. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Oh, wow, it's cut, too. I love it.
Like it?
I do. Look at that. Baby.
Baby. I think she got the ick. You know what I mean?
It's blonde. I thought you weren't going to go all blonde. You look so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you ain't going to sit with me? So I can look at you? You changing all of you. You ain't going to be my wife no more.
I am too. I just look a little different.
You look a lot different. Did you ever think you'd ever go blonde?
I mean, maybe.
Like, really blonde?
I wanted to.
I know, but
I don't know.
looking now in the mirror, do you, like, notice, like,
Oh, yeah, I can see that it's blonde, yeah.
so it will get lighter?
Mm-hmm.
You look just different. Did you miss me today?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. You show anybody? You took a picture of anybody?
Yeah.
Really? So I'm not the first person to see it? Well, I'm not the first person to see it.
No.
Who'd you send a picture?
Oh my God. Red flag, red flag. Everybody's a red flag. Gypsy, red flag. Ken, a red flag. Ryan, a red flag. There's so many flags if anybody needs one. The level of insecurity that he's exhibiting is so torturous to watch on so many levels. I am just so cringed out right now. Note to anybody who needs one, okay, if you need a little bit of a tip. When your partner comes home, okay, and they got their hair done, you don't act like that. He's like questioning her on it, and you can tell it's making her feel a little bit insecure about it because she's just like, I mean, she's never been able to do things to her hair. She's never been able to do anything that she wanted to do. This should have been like a moment where she was just like made to feel, you know, so proud that she's in a position in her life now where she can go and get her hair done. You know what I mean? And he's just like, oh, girl, did you show Ken? Which she probably did show Ken, but still. Gypsy went to spend some time in Cutoff, which is where her dad and stepmom live and sister, so that she could have some one-on-one time with her dad, because since she's been out of prison, she hasn't really, you know, had a lot of that, right? And so she goes to spend some time with him. This is the first time her and Ryan are away for like a full weekend from each other. And while she's there, he sends her a text that says, I'm gonna be honest about something. I could really give a shit about your dad's one-on-one time with you right now. I want to love on my wife. I think that was like a horny text, if I'm being honest, where he was like trying to like flirt and be like, I wish you were here so I could nom nom nom, and she's just like, baby. Man.
I got carried away in the hype of everything. Social media is like literally a doorway to hell. Contemplating deleting it in a couple months.
We'll talk about the delete later, but right now we're not deleting. I don't mind if you stop posting as much, but
I'm just not gonna tell you I'm gonna delete it.
no, you're not gonna do that.
It's gone. I don't know what happened.
No, you're not.
Okay, no. Nope. You know what that's giving? That's giving, what was her name? Oh my God, brain fart on her name. The Twitch streamer that's boyfriend would force her to stream and stuff. This is the same energy. You cannot force her to do social media. If she doesn't want to do social media anymore and doesn't want to make revenue that way, she doesn't have to. If she wants to work at a drive-thru, or if she wants to be a dog groomer or work at a grocery store, or whatever she wants to do, she should be able to do that. You cannot force her to continue to post on social media on your behalf.
I gotta delete my social media because people, that one little thing where I said that I'm responsible for my co-defendant being incarcerated. I felt like 2 lives were taken that night. Somebody reported that to Missouri, saying that I'm trying to communicate with him.
Baby, that is revenue. Does he know that?
I don't care.
Did you tell him that?
I don't care.
I get it. Then delete it.
If all you care about is
don't.
money.
I don't. Let us pull that money out at least before you do that.
It's revenue. Everybody just wants to see me back.
I do agree with Ryan there. Like, if you earned money on a live already or something, definitely get that first. Like, that is smart. that right there, I don't feel like was the wrong thing to say, but he was already putting her in a position where she was feeling like he was telling her she couldn't delete her social media. So I feel like if maybe he had only said that, delete your social media if you want to, I totally support that. We'll figure it out, but let's find a way to get the revenue you've already earned before you delete it. If he had worded it like that, I don't think she would have been as upset, but I think it was the, you're not deleting it and like all that and like trying to like force her to keep it that was the issue.
Snap out of it, baby. It's date night. Wow! She talk to me.
I am talking.
I'd still say yes. Would you still say yes?
Yeah.
Her face. Look at her face. He's like, I'd still say yes. Would you still say yes? And she's like, yeah.
You'd remarry me?
Huh?
You'd remarry me?
Can we not do this on camera? You could ask those questions when we're not filming.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some things can be just between us.
Hey.
I think like tonight I'm just in a mood. Are you happy?
Yes. And all of a sudden now you're not.
Maybe I'm not. There's just sometimes that I feel like we're different people.
Well, don't call Ken. You're probably already talking to him anyway. I don't want you to make a rash decision.
I'm not gonna make a rash decision.
You make rash decisions all the time. And are you not wanting to fight for this anymore? No?
You know I love you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just think that I would be happier somewhere else.
Being with somebody like her, it happens a lot. You know, she still mentions her ex from occasions. He continues to, like, always is in the background. And I'm like, are you talking? And she's like, no.
When I first saw the clip of him crying at the end of that, I felt terrible for him. I really did. That was hard to watch. I don't ever want to see anybody get hurt like that. Yeah, he's annoying, but he's harmless. You know what I mean? I feel like his like behaviors that drive me nuts, like he could work on that and fix them. He's not as bad as he could have been for somebody who wrote her in prison. You know what I mean? But with that being said, like, you know, seeing him cry at the end of that was really sad. And it's like she told him, you know, on camera, she was like, you could have these conversations with me off camera when he asked her if she'd marry him again. But also the same goes to you, Gypsy. Later on that same evening, you literally end things with him on camera. Why are you not having these conversations with him off camera? Why have this entire season you have repeatedly had conversations about him behind his back? Like very offensive and hurtful conversations you've had when he was not present to give his opinion on them. You did it the whole season, but he can't ask you if you'd marry him again on camera. Like there is a double standard that keeps happening here. But I wanted to say this, like I felt really bad when he was crying at the end, but then I saw that he had done this live where he literally took this poll and he asked people if they felt bad for him for crying or not, like if it touched their heart. And
I mean, you went from one prison to another prison, and now you're in another one.
Dramatic.
I wouldn't go that far, Mom.
Cars over here. He's not here, so I'm hurrying.
Man, I'll leave the place for a little bit, go sit.
That's what I just...
In this clip, Gypsy's stepmom is saying, he's not here, we need to hurry up, and having her like rush her stuff out, go there when he's not there instead of having like an adult conversation about leaving him. And that really upsets me because that is such a disrespectful way to leave somebody. You were not in danger with Ryan. He was not going to hurt you. I feel like, you know, yeah, he had his things. I understand why she didn't want to be married, but at the end of the day, like you don't have to disrespect him by just up and leaving him like that. Like that's very traumatic and hurtful to people to be left like that. I get if she was in a situation where she was unsafe, but he wasn't gonna hurt her. And her stepmom really bothers me in this because Gypsy felt like with her mom that she didn't have any way out. You know, she tried to run away before and then her mom found her, and then the second time her mom, you know what I mean? Or she didn't do it, but she had somebody do it for her because she didn't know how to get out of a situation that she no longer wanted to be in. She needs to learn how to properly end situations with people and not keep, you know, running away from them or creating, you know, these scenes or these dramatic endings to things with people. She needs to learn how to sit there and have an adult conversation with someone when she ends something. And I feel like her stepmom right here is not helping her learn that behavior. She should have told her, I will be there for you while you talk to Ryan, or if you need someone else present to feel safe, if we should bring a police officer or something like that. But you do need to do it while he's there and talk to him about it, because that's the right thing to do. I feel like Christy is not helping as far as Gypsy's learned behaviors from her past mistakes, that I feel that she needs to unlearn so that she can be a better person and more productive in society, and, you know, not go on hurting other people because she's hurt. And this was just something I did not think needed to happen. It felt very, very hurtful and mean to me. There are obviously things that I feel about Ryan that I agree with, but at the same time, I feel that he deserved enough respect for you to say, hey, I'm leaving. Yo, my camera just zoomed way in at the end of this video and I can't fix it. Hello, you're so close to my face now. The ending of that really bothered me, but there is a whole other episode I have yet to see, and if you want to see my reaction on that, you definitely make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss it. I also have a video coming where I'm going to be showing you all some of the TikToks that I have seen done by them. They are all sloppy, messy, hot mess centric. I cannot wait to show them to you all because I have some things to say, as you all know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, and that lets me know that you would like to see more videos like this. And I will be seeing you soon for another one.